So I'm going to be posting on YouTube after this whole section. So if you're here for the first time, if you're watching from YouTube, do well to, subscribe and hit the like button. All right. So let's get started. So today we are going to be talking about advanced market structure. That's what we're going to be talking about today. Advanced market structure. Advanced market structure. Now, before we get started or get into this advanced market structure, we are going to be talking about the platform that I use personally, all right? The platform I use personally is the Deriv platform. As you can see, I'm using the Deriv trading view. I'm using the Deriv trading view. I use the Deriv platform. So I use the Deriv platform. And I use the Deriv platform for a few reasons, and I'm going to be sharing with us why I'm using the Deriv platform. Now, the reason I'm using the Deriv platform, before we get there, are just few reasons. One, they're very easy to use. Two, deposit and withdrawal method are very, very fast. All right, you can get your money out in minutes. All right, and aside that, they trade on volatility index. I like to trade volatility index, and aside that, you can actually trade on the Deriv platform itself, like on this. Now, there's so many ways you can actually trade on the Deriv platform. Like this, there are so many ways that you can take advantage of, and we're going to be taking advantage of few of them right here. Again, we can even still trade on the MetaTrader 5, which is something we're going to be looking at later on. But then we can actually trade on the Deriv platform itself like this. This is the Deriv platform. If you create an account, you're going to have something like this. You can actually trade on this Deriv platform itself. You don't have to sign in MetaTrader 5 and all that. You can actually trade on here. And then the difference between trading on here and the MetaTrader 5 is here we have what we call trading type. We have trading type, as you can see. We have what we call trade type. If I click on this place, we have a lot of trade type that we can take advantage of. We're going to be looking at a few of them here. Now, but before I get into the platform, now I said something in the Zoom meeting, right? On the TikTok live section. I said everything I'm going to be doing here, I'm going to be showing you here on market structure and everything on the chart, understanding the chart is totally for free. Yeah, we're going to be going live 2 to 3 times every week, almost every day, it depends. And then we're going to be doing all this, understanding market structure, understanding order block, fair value gap, liquidity, supply and demand, and all these things. We are going to know exactly how to trade, how to understand the first market and how to trade it properly. But if you want to learn my method of trading, all right, I'm going to quickly explain that before we continue on advanced market structure. Trading on the Deriv platform itself. If you want to learn how to trade on the Deriv platform itself, and then I'm going to really just do an introduction to this, right, and how we can actually take advantage of this. Now, I think last month or last 2 months ago, I think I have a video of that on my YouTube right now, a short video of that on my YouTube where I was able to turn $100. It's even not $100, it's actually even $10, right? It's actually $10, right? I was able to turn $10, but this is how I did it. I turned $10 into $100. But then the reason I'm saying $100 now is because I now moved the $100 into another account, right? When I wanted to, like, so for documentation purpose. All right. I was using $10. I was just playing around with $10, and then it was really going nice. And I was able to turn $10 to $100. And then that $100, then I then move the $100 to another account, a new account. So I'll be able to document the whole process. And then I was able to move the $100 to $10,000, right? Like I said, there's a video of that on YouTube. I'm going to share the video in the WhatsApp group, right? So it means I was able to turn $10, right, into $10,000, 16,000 guys. I was able to do this in under 3 weeks. Under 3 weeks. So it means I was able to turn 16,000 into 16 million. Don't take my word for it. Watch the video on YouTube. And aside that, don't even watch the video even. We are going to do the same thing. Now, this is what we're going to do, guys. This is what we're going to do. Just listen attentively. Now, we are going to be having two groups. Now, the group we are currently in right now is totally for free, where we're going to be talking about market structure. Of course, the knowledge here is what we're even going to be using. I'm going to show us a brief example of that. The knowledge here is what we're going to be using to actually trade on the dev trader and everything. But then I still have some simple little strategy in the derivative trader that if you are not on the live section with me and I explain the derivative platform, you will not really understand. All right. So for those that want to understand, of course, like I said, this one is free. Now, but then for those that want to understand how I trade on this platform itself, it is not free for that, right? Again, I'll be going live 2, 3, 4 times every week for free, but then we're going to be having a VIP group. We already have a VIP group there, and in that VIP group, aside from the fact that I'm going to teach you how to apply the knowledge you get here into here, aside from that, I'm also going to be showing you, we're also going to be doing that thing together. We're actually going to be turning $100. This is $100, and we're going to be targeting 40%. This is a compounding interest calculator. We're actually going to be compounding, right? So how was I able to turn $10 into $10,000? Because I was compounding, and I'm going to show you how. So $100, 40%. We're doing 40% every day. We're targeting compounding 40% every day for 14 days, and that's going to give us what? $11,000. Now, this is how it's going to work. So day one, we are making our total equity is going to be $140. Day two, 40% of $140 is going to give us 196. Day three, day four, like that, like that, like that, till day 14. So 2 weeks, we are doing this for 2 weeks. And again, we necessarily do not have to wait till we get to this, right? Sometimes we might actually get our total. We might actually just stop at where maybe we get our 5,000, 7,000 order, because when we get to like maybe day 7, we are going to be removing some profit of our capital or our equity. And then when we get to maybe day 10, we are going to remove some profit and all that. So at the end of the whole thing, we might end up having like 5,000, 7,000 total profits, but then it is still massive. So you can either come in if you're interested with $100 or $50. Now, for $50, it's going to be like $5,000. So these are the two amount of money you can actually either come into the whole thing with. Now, for you, if you want to participate in this, you have to join my VIP group. It is for those in the VIP group. Again, I just want 10 people in there. I think I have 5 people there right now, and I need just 5 more people. Right. Once we get to 10 people, we're going to get started with that. Now, let me just do a brief, let me just really show you guys what you should really be expecting. Now, that's the thing. What should you be expecting? Now, I'm going to show you different strategies. I'm going to be using the touch stroke, no touch right now. And I'm going to be explaining how this touch stroke, no touch works, because it's actually the touch stroke, no touch we're actually going to be using, all right? So this is how it works, all right? I've, here, I'm going to select what asset I want to trade on, touch stroke, no touch, right? And then I'm going to select, trade type, touch stroke, no touch. I'm going to select what asset I want to trade on. I can choose any volatility index depending on my analysis. And then I'm going to choose duration. Now, when we start the challenge, we're not going to be using a fixed duration. Sometimes we're going to be using 1 hour, 2 minutes, 15 minutes, 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours, sometimes even 15 hours. I took trade day before yesterday. I took a 20 hours long trade. Right. Duration here means you can choose how long you want your trade to last. Now, for this example that I'm about to show you, I'm going to be using a 2-minute duration. All right. Now, there's something here called barrier. I'm going to get back to this barrier, what this is. I'm going to get back to it. And then we have stake. Now, this stake here is whatever your balance is, you can choose how much you want to put in here and trade with. And that's what that stake is. Now, for this touch stroke, no touch, we have 2 options. You can either purchase the touch or the no touch. Guys, listen attentively. You can either purchase the touch or the no touch. All right. So if you are purchasing the touch, guys, if you are purchasing the touch, the return for touch is 162%. So if I purchase touch and I win, I'm going to be making 160% on my stake. And if I purchase no touch and I win, I'm going to be making 55%. So it means I have a high chance of winning the no touch to touch, all right? But that is not the case here. Of course, we still need to understand the direction of the market, all right? Now, I'm going to show you one simple strategy with this, right? I talk about market structure in the live section. I've been talking about market structure all this while, and then the knowledge in market structure alone, you can use it to trade this. Now, before I get into the knowledge in market structure and how to apply that, I'm just quickly going to talk about that and how to apply that. Now, what does this touch mean and what does this no touch mean? If I purchase this touch, now if I click on this touch, look at this line here that is moving. If I click on this touch, it will stop moving. And I'm saying that in the next 2 minutes, I want this market to move and touch that moving this line here. All right. I want it to move up and touch this line. If I go for no touch, I'm saying for the next 2 minutes, it should not touch. So we're going to take an example. We're going to take an example and we're going to see how the whole thing works. Now, here it is very, very logical to trade no touch because, of course, the market is going down. The target or the barrier is up there. And then, of course, our percentage return, 55%, is really looking good. So I'm going to go for no touch. If I click on no touch right now, as you can see, this one has stopped moving. I'm just saying for the next 2 minutes, all right? Look at there's a countdown here. I'm just saying for the next 2 minutes, this market should not go up and touch this target or this my barrier here. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Now imagine we are going to be doing this on a large scale. We're going to be doing this on a much more larger scale using using larger duration. Now, again, like I said, I use more market structure to do this. Now, how do I use market structure? Let me show you guys. This is simple market structure. Let me show you. Look at this. This here is literally a downtrend. As you can see, we have lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. I know this is going to give us what? A lower low. So I'm going to be trading in this axis right here. And again, market structure is the king of it all. It's going to really follow everything, right? Sometimes sometimes it does crazy shit. You cannot be right 100% of the time, but market structure is really going to help you out a lot. It's going to help you out a lot. All right. As you can see, look at this. It's actually even going back up like this, as you can see. So the market can do some crazy shit sometimes. And that's why you need a real proper strategy for this. And that is what I'm going to be showing us. We have a real strategy for this that's going to help us not take crazy losses. All right. And that's how we intend to build uh to build small account size into large account size. So that's how we're going to be compounded. Now for this 2 minute strategy, I have a strategy that I use for 2 minutes. I actually use or trade the touch on this 2 minutes. This one is just an example and an illustration that I'm giving right now. I have a strategy that I use for the 2 minutes, and I actually trade the touch. Guys, can you still hear me, please? If you can hear me, please just say something in the chat. If you can hear me properly and you can see my screen, just say something. Just say something in the chat right now. All right, all right, all right. So as you can see, we won this. As you can see, we won this. We've made 55%. We've made 55%. Now, there are other ways I can trade the touch. Now, if I want to trade the touch, for instance, right? If I want to trade the touch, now, if I want to trade the touch, listen, I am going to because this market is on a downtrend, is going down. We know that this is going to, give us a break of structure here. We're anticipating what? A break of structure here, because once this is it, it's very obvious. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and we're expecting what? A lower low. So that's what we're anticipating. So we know it's still going to go down and give us that break of structure. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to drag this here. I'm going to drag this barrier. I'm going to drag it to the downside like this, and I'm going to target what? 20%. I usually target 20%. I usually target 20%. You can either drag it like that or just put in the values. Yeah, there's a fixed value for that. So this is 15%, right? I usually target. So if I'm doing these kinds of things, I have a strategy, even a money management strategy for this. Now, these are the things I'm going to be talking about in the VIP group. It's not something I'm going to talk about here. We know that it's going to go down for sure. So I'm just going to even still wait for a push down like this. See how close this touch now is. It's very, very close, right? It's very, very close. But still, you still need to be careful, even if you've done all your analysis properly, right? You still need to be careful. All right, I've lost, trust me, a lot of money trying to do this. There's a time I was flipping account. I'll use my total equity, target 20%, take it. That's how I was able to build that $10 to $10,000 using this 2 minute strategy here. Look at this. I've missed that trade. As you can see, very close. It's very close. So we just need to be able to enter at the right time. I entered a bit late, as you can see. So it's as simple as that. You need to understand how to follow the trend. How to follow the trend. But then for this challenge that we're going to be doing, we are not going to be trading touch. We're actually going to be trading the no touch, and then we're going to be using a much more higher duration. A much more higher duration. All right. As you can see, we've won that trade. As you can see, we have won that trade because we understand market structure, guys. Because we understand market structure. Guys, let me tell you something, guys. Do you know that? Let me tell you let me tell you a quick backstory. Do you know that? I've learned this method a long time ago, right? I have a lot of method that I use. Now, I've been in a situation where I've been broke. Like I would, there was a time I was running my house project. I used up all my money and I was trying to trade and I lost a whole lot, right? I lost a whole lot. So this is what happened. I lost a whole lot that I just picked up $50 and I deposited $50 and I was able to turn $50. I think I'm going to find the account that I used in doing that. I was able to turn $50 into $20,000 in 3-4 weeks. Now, note, those methods of trading are risky. There are safer ways to trade this, right? There are very safe ways to trade this where you're going to be just targeting 5-6% every day. Very safe way. But then, of course, I have a separate account where I trade this in a very safe way, and I have another account where I do this flipping and all this kind of stuff. All right. And this really have saved me a lot of times. That saved me from debt, that saved me from financial ruins a lot of times. And that's the kind of knowledge I intend to pass to as many people as possible. Again, for those this method or me talking about this dev platform is going to be for those only in the VIP group. Of course, I'm going to still be doing on this talking about market structure and all these things, understanding how to trade, which is the same knowledge we are going to be needing to be able to trade here. I'm going to be doing that for free, but then how to apply, because you cannot just take that knowledge and put it here. That's why even if you are a forex trader, you're good with forex trading, you might not be able to make profit here because this one has a little bit advancement on it, right? Which I'm going to be showing those that are going to be in the VIP group. Like I said, I just need 10 people in the VIP group, right? And I already have 5 people. So the next 5 people that are going to join us are going to be the 5 people I'm going to get into. So you can either message me now or after the live section if you're interested, $30 to join the VIP group. All right, so let's continue. Let's go back to this. Now, I cannot talk about this on, I should have talked about this on the TikTok. The last time I did this, they blocked my TikTok account. So I can't do that on TikTok. All right. So let's go back to this. So we're talking about advanced market structure. Advanced market structure. Now, listen, this is where the whole thing starts. Right? This is where the whole thing starts. We're going to be looking at the chart even today. All right. So, like I said before, we have higher high, higher low, higher high. Now, let me talk about this one first. One thing you should note is the moment you see a break of structure, the moment it breaks structure, guys, anticipate a pullback. Guys, the moment you see a break of structure like this, anticipate pullback. Immediately I see a break of structure, I'm always anticipating a pullback. Now, that does not mean, guys, I am not saying the moment you see a break of structure, pullback start happening. No, I'm saying anticipate. Understand my English. Anticipate a pullback does not mean the moment you see, does not mean that the moment you see a break of structure, pullback start happening. No, it doesn't just start happening immediately, but it's going to start happening anytime from then. All right. So anticipate a pullback. I'm always ready for a pullback or preparing for a pullback immediately I see a break of structure. All right. Because it will happen sooner or later. It will happen. All right. So some markets can be so crazy and just go so. Now, see, guys, and another thing, the further the market moves, right? If you see a market that moves like this, it's sure that there's going to be a pullback, right? And I'm happy to see markets like this, right? Because I know that when the pullbacks happen, I'm going to take a lot of profit from it, right? I'm going to take a lot of profit from it. All right. So these are the things that we're going to be looking at. Forex trading is not difficult. Again, you can use this knowledge to trade crypto, forex, whatever you want to do. So even if you do not have the money, because I know there are people that genuinely do not have the $30 to join the VIP group. Even if you do not have the money, you are going to get real value from here, and then you can use that to trade on your forex, crypto, or whatever you want to trade on with. It's totally free. Everything I'm showing you here, I'm not going to charge a dime for it. All right. I'm already getting so many DMs. People are already interested in the mentorship group right now. The VIP group, in the VIP group, I'm getting a lot of DMs already. So if you're interested, like I said, I just need 10 people and I have 5 people already in the group. So it's just first come, first serve, actually. So let's continue. So immediately I see a break of structure. All right. I anticipate pullback. Now, before we go back to this one, I'm talking about this because it's a very important thing we need to note. It's a very important thing you need to know, because so many people do this mistake, that after they see a break of structure, they now start buying. Imagine, start buying. Now, let's say you start buying from here, and then the market even eventually start going up, right? It went up to this level, but look at where you're doing mistake. The market goes up to this level, you're in profit, right? And then look at what then happened is you come back down, which is something the market is supposed to do. Comes back down like this, and then you're in loss again. You're in serious loss before you start doing this. You can even take out your stop loss or whatever before I start doing this. So knowing when to enter a market is very, very important. You cannot be entering the market when you see a break of structure. All right. All right. So, sir, for those of us that haven't, those of us haven't had knowledge about it before. Okay. Now, again, for those that are just joining and you have not, I have a recorded for the other classes we have done. I actually posted the video, so you can go and watch. Even after this class, you can go and watch the videos of. We started with time frame, and then we started with time frame and candlesticks, and then we talk about market structure. We started about the simple market structure and all that. So you can just go and watch the video there on YouTube. It's there. All right. So let's continue here. So immediately I say break of structure, I anticipate a pullback. I am not buying at this point. At this point, even guys, I am looking for opportunities to sell. Right? It's an uptrend. Right? You might say this is an uptrend. So why are you looking for opportunities to sell? Immediately I say a break of structure, I am looking, guys, even in an uptrend, there are opportunities to sell. Now let me show you. Let me show you guys. Let me show you. Of course, we've talked about time frame. So let's assume we're on the 4 hours time frame and we see something like this: higher highs, higher low, higher high, like this. All right, we've seen what? A break of structure. Now, before I even talk about this, there's something important I need to talk about, right? I think I talked about this a lot in the TikTok, right? Knowing where to buy. All right, knowing where to buy. All right, let me just finish talking about this even. So once we see our break of structure, what? Once we see our break of structure, I am anticipating what? I'm anticipating what? A pullback. This is our break of structure. I am anticipating a pullback. So does it mean that any small movement I see to the downside is a pullback? No. That's one thing people do not understand. People think because the market is giving us this push to the downside, it means it's a pullback. No. So let's say this is a 4-hour time frame. What I'm just going to do is I'm going to go down to the 15-minute time frame, right? I'm going to go down to the 15-minute time frame, and then this one is going to be like an uptrend, right? In the 15-minute time frame, you are going to be seeing higher highs, higher low, like this. Higher high, higher low, higher high, like this. That's what you are going to be seeing on the 15-minute time frame. Now, once I'm seeing this on the 15-minute time frame, what am I looking for? I am looking for a change of character. I explained what change of character is before. So if you do not understand what change of character is, still go watch the video. I have a video dedicated to change of character. So I'm looking for a change of character. Now, again, I'm going to show you guys an example, even on the Deriv platform, how I trade. Again, like I said, just the knowledge of market structure, knowledge of break of structure and change of character. You can use that knowledge to even trade on here. You can use that knowledge to trade here. Because one thing you should always notice, once I see something like this, I've seen my higher high, higher low, higher high. I'm always looking for my point of interest. We're going to be talking about this a lot, so it's going to stick in our head. Guys, trust me, you cannot get this the day one. As we progress in this whole thing, as we take example, take trades, you're going to then get it, all right? So don't get yourself worked up, because this video is even being recorded. So if you do not really understand something, you can go back to watch on YouTube. So we have my point of interest is the recent highest point. Guys, note I said recent highest point. The recent highest point, the recent lowest point. Right? Now, for this market to keep being an option, of course, we know, guys, let me make this one clear. We know that this is on the let's say we go back to the 4 hours time frame again. We know that this is an uptrend, right? We have higher high, higher low, higher high, right? Higher high is still happening. So what we are trying to wait or look out for is when the pullback wants to start. That's what we are looking for, because we know, guys, we know that a pullback will happen. We know a pullback will happen. We are just trying to find out when it will happen. Like I said, knowing the trend of the markets, knowing what the market is going to do is not enough. Knowing when it's going to do it is another important topic, and that's what I'm about to show you. Knowing where the market is going. Guys, you can open the forex chart, open the market, know the market is going up, and then you're not even in profit. You cannot even take one profit. Because aside from the fact that you know where it is going, you don't even know when it's going to start going where you think it's going to go. So knowing where is not just enough, or where the market is going is not just enough. You need to know when it is going where you think it's going to go. All right. So for this, we have gone back down to the 15 minutes. All right. So we've gone back to the 15 minutes. Now we're seeing something like this. So what I'm expecting, guys, I'm not even forcing this whole thing, right? If I see something like this, I'm expecting what? This. For this, if this happens, break of structure happens, it means it has continued its uptrend, right? Pullback has not happened yet. It has not started yet, right? If I see something like this, it means pullback has not started yet. What am I going to do? I am going to adjust my point of interest. I have a new point of interest. I have a new point of interest. The recent highest point and the recent lowest point. I have a new point of interest. Now, again, we are talking about advanced market structure. It cannot always be perfect. It cannot be diagram perfect. Sometimes you're going to see something like this. Inside here, right? Guys, everything happening inside this point of interest is called internal structure. I don't care about all these things. What I care about is my point of interest here and here. All this one happening, internal structure. So once I see a break like this, it means change of character as a core. This is our change of character. Change of character has happened. So our change of character has happened. Now, once our change of character happens, right? Once our change of character happens, we know that this market has now shifted from this trend here, and the 15 minute has now shifted from an uptrend to a downtrend, which collaborates with our higher time frame analysis. Because in our higher time frame, we know this is doing higher high, higher low, higher high, and then we are expecting to see what our higher low like this before a continuation. That's what we're expecting. So when this one does what we're anticipating on the higher time frame, it gives us added confirmation. So once this change of character happens, we know in a downtrend we're expecting to see lower low, lower high. Now we are not expecting this one to go up like this. No, this is just lower high, and then a continuation, lower low, lower high, lower low. And then we can now look for, after this change of character, we can now enter the trade around here and follow this trade to the downside. Lower low, lower high. So what are we looking for here again? Same thing. What are we looking for here? Same thing. We are looking for what? A change of character. We know, guys, we know that this one is our lower low. Now, look at this. This is our point of interest on the 4-hour time frame. This is our point of interest on the 4-hour time frame. This one here, this point here, the recent highest point, and then the recent lowest point. We know that if this market is going to keep being an uptrend, it is not going to break this lowest point. We know that. So here, where's my point of interest? In the 15 minutes, let's go zoom back into the 15 minutes. If I zoom back into the 15 minutes, my point of interest here is the recent highest point and the recent lowest point here. Again, there are other things we are going to be using to know where the market wants to start, turning from, like order block, fair value gap, and all that. We're still going to get to that, right? We are still in market structure. So we're going to be using market structure to, of course, you can use just the knowledge in market structure to trade. It's as simple as that. So let's see. Once we see a break, right? This is our change of character. When the market breaks the recent highest point in a downtrend, that marks what? Our change of character. Our change of character. This here is now our change of character. Our change of character. So once we have our change of character, and that means it's saying the same thing with our higher time frame. And then in an uptrend, we're expecting to see higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and then we now have, going back to the 4-hour time frame, we are now going to have what? A break of structure, and the same thing repeats. The same thing repeats. Now, if I now go back to my 4-hour time frame, I'm now going to have something like this: higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and higher high. And how are we able to arrive at this? We're able to arrive at this because we understand the concept of market structure and change of character. We understand the concept. Again, there are other methods you can use to know. Imagine having 2, 3, 4 confirmations. Imagine the market start gives you a change of character at a zone. Imagine this gives you a change of character at a very valid zone. This is added confirmation. Added confirmation. We are going to be getting to other blocks: supply and demand, fair value gap, and liquidity. We are going to get to that, and then you're going to understand all this whole thing properly. You're going to understand that forex trading is not as difficult as we think it is. Right? It's not as difficult as we think it is. We just need to really understand. We just need to really understand. All right, so let's get into the chart. Now, before we get into the chart, let me just quickly emphasize on that point of interest. Now, look at this. Let's go to this. Now, look at this. Look at this trade now. If I want to trade this now, I'm just going to mark out my point of interest. Look at this. This is on the 1 minute time frame. Now, for this 2 minute duration, you use the 1 minute time frame, right? I'm going to be sharing this strategy for those in the VIP group one of these days. So I'm just going to do what? Mark up my point of interest. Pick up the horizontal line, the recent highest points, like that, and what? And sorry, and my recent lowest point. So everything happening in here, look at this. This is lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, because we've had what? Our break of structure, right? This is our break of structure. Here we've had our break of structure. See, I said immediately you see a break of structure, you anticipate a pullback, and I'm already anticipating a pullback, right? So this one now, I can trade this to the upside. Just watch, I can actually trade this to the upside. Look at this, I can pull this down. Look at this barrier now. That target, I traded toss the other time because the barrier was, I should put the barrier down here. But then if I want to put the barrier up there, I'm just going to change down minus. That's something I'm going to be teaching those in the VIP group. The barrier has gone up, so I'm just going to wait for opportunity to enter the trade. And there's something you need to wait out for before you enter the trade. It's not something I'm going to be sharing with us for free here. I'm going to wait for an entry signal. We still have what we call entry signal. Even if the market is doing exactly what you want it to do, you still need to wait for an entry signal. And that's one thing I'm going to be sharing, not here. Right. So for those in the VIP group, we are going to be having a class. Maybe I want us to get to 10 members before I start that. I don't want anyone to miss out on that in the VIP group. So we are going to be talking about that. We're going to be having a class in the VIP group once we get to 10 members, right? We're already at 5. So I just want to enter a trade here. We're going to wait for. Okay, so again, I'm not talking anything about this one here yet. So of course, we know that this market is going to know this lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. We're expecting a what? A lower high here. We know it's going to go up, lower high. That's what we're expecting. All right, so that's what we're really expecting. And then we won this trade. As you can see, we already won this trade. We already won this trade. It's as simple as that, guys. So you need to really understand all this thing properly. It's not difficult at all. It is not difficult. But it might change structure. So yeah, we are getting there. We are getting there. Again, we just started the journey of advanced market structure. We are getting there. Guys, again, I'm going to treat all this thing properly. I don't want to take this too fast. Like, I don't want to take this too fast. I don't want to start talking about other block now when so many people do not really understand what it means and all that. So I'll take this one step at a time, right? I'm going to take this one a step at a time. Like, that is everything it is, all right? One step at a time. That's what I'm going to do, right? So let's continue here. So let's go down to the chart. Let's see how this is happening on the chart. Let me get all this off. Let's go to the charts. All right. So I said, what's a VIP group? I need to join so I can start over. I'm just joining. All right, all right. Just again, I'm going to talk about the VIP group again later on. So let's just continue here. Let's continue here. And again, this video is being recorded. All right, it's being recorded. So if you are just joining, you can watch the recorded version because I'm going to post on YouTube, and then you can watch everything you've missed. All right. So look at this now. Look at this. This is clearly what an uptrend. This is clearly an uptrend. Now look at this. Let me draw a path for this. We have higher high like this, higher low, higher high. We have this higher low here, and then we're beginning to have what a higher high like this. This is a typical market structure. Now let's see this. Now the question is, how can we tell if it is here, how can we know it's here? The market's going to start going up from. Look at this. The market started going up a bit from here, but look, I started coming down back again. So look at this. How would we have known that it is here that this market will be going up from? Now let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. All right, let's talk about that. Look at this. If I zoom this in, all right, or we go down to a lower time frame, let me just zoom in like this. We don't even need to go down to a lower time frame, but we can even do that for more clarity. But let me just use this. All right, so look at this. This here will be a downtrend. It will be a much more clearer downtrend in the lower time frame. Let me show you on the 4 hours, for instance. Let's see that on the 4 hours. My network is a bit slow, so let's go back to the 24 hours. Let me just show you guys properly from here. My network is a bit slow tonight. All right, so let me show you guys here. All right, so how can we tell that it is here the market wants to start going up from? Now, it's a downtrend here. I'm going to consider this a downtrend. Of course, we still know that it is in higher high, higher low, higher high, right? But then this move here, we can consider this on its own a downtrend. So let's see how that plays out, right? Let's see how that plays out, right? So we have what? Lower low here like this, lower high, lower low. Then we have a high. Now this high, it is not a break of structure because it is not change of character. This one is not change of character because it did not break this one. So we saw this low here, right? We would have think this one wants to start going down, but we saw this low here, as you can see. It did not break this structure here. It did not continue its downtrend. But look at what then happened. We have a change of character. We have what? Our change of character. Now, this change of character tells us, all right, these are indication that this market has now changed from a downtrend to an uptrend, which is the same thing with our general trend because it's an uptrend, higher high, higher low. We're expecting a higher high. So once we see this change of character, we see the break here. This one's our change of character. We then expect a pullback. We're not just going to start buying here. Remember, in an uptrend, look at this. We can see this from here, higher high, higher low, higher high. You cannot just start buying here. I just explained that. You cannot just start buying after a break of structure. It's because we can consider this one here an uptrend, right? And this is our higher high, higher low, higher high. We just had a break of structure. I told you cannot start buying once you have a break of structure. All right. So we're just going to wait for what? A pullback. We are going to wait for a pullback. But when do we know when the pullback is over? Again, change of character on the smaller time frame. I already explained that. All right. So once we have this, we're expecting this pullback. And then we're then going to go to the lower time frame to see what a change of character on the lower time frame. We are going to, if you go down to like the 15 minutes or the 5 minutes, you are going to see the change of character here, which is something we're going to be looking at as we progress into this advanced market structure. We're still going to be going down into this whole thing when we get to time frame analysis and all that. And then we have this push here. This one did not break this structure here. Then we have this pullback, and then we have this. So around here would be a perfect time to buy, and they would have cut out this move. here, which is a perfect opportunity, right? And then look at this. Let me show you guys this. If I go down to the lower time frame, we'd see that this move here is an uptrend. I would have seen the same thing here. Higher high, higher low, higher high, change of character. As you can see, go down to the lower time frame, you're going to see what? A small pullback and everything that is going to give you an opportunity to enter this market, but then see, right? And then we would have seen a change of character. If we go down to a lower time frame, let me show you. Let me even go down to the 1 hour time frame. Let me show you. All right, look at this there. Look at this. Okay, look at this. Now, there are sometimes, again, market structure. It is not going to be picture perfect, guys. It is not going to be picture perfect. Look at this on the 1 hour time frame here. We have lower low, lower high. We have this lower low here. We have this lower high, right? This one is higher than the everything. So these are lower high because it is higher than what? Everything here. Then we have this lower low here. So for change of character to happen, this is where we want to be broken. All right. And then we have all this. So everything. So once I have something like this, what is my point of interest? Highest point. Hold on. Recent highest point and my recent lowest point. Those are my point of interest. So everything happening inside here, all this one happening are called internal structure. All this thing, internal structure. Internal structure. Till we have what? Our change of character. Having this change of character now gives us what? The permission that, okay, now the market now wants to, start what? Going up, which is, the same thing, which aligns with what? Our uptrend. Generally, this is an uptrend, impulsive, higher high, higher low, higher high, right? So we're just looking for this higher low here. We're looking for exactly where we need to start buying from. So where do we then start buying from? We're going to wait for what? A pullback like this. We're going to wait for a pullback. Now, once we get to order block and fair value gap and all these things, we're going to be looking more about getting into more details about all this. Then we have this. Now, all this one here are still what? This is high here. We have this. As long as it did not break this level, these are highest point, lowest point. As long as it don't break this level, it's internal structure. Then till we have what? A break of structure here, and then a continuation and a break of structure. Continuation, break of structure. So if I want to do this properly, this here is my what? Break of structure here. This is my break. So everything happening in here, inside this place, let me drag this. So this is the highest point here, lowest point. Everything happening inside these two places, internal structure. All this move here, internal structure. So this is my higher high, higher low, higher high. I'm not considering this one at all. Let me draw this properly. Hold on. Let me draw this properly. Let me get all this off. So we have this as higher high, like this. Again, we are 60. I'm going to dedicate a day to talk about pullback. Not every pullback is considered a valid pullback. Sorry, who is that? Stop that, please. Ali, stop that, please. So this is higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and then continuation. So this is basic market structure. And then look at this. We are going to, this is our higher high, right? And then, please stop that. This change of character just happening here. Change of character. So once we see a change of character, we anticipate what? A pullback. We have seen what? Our change of character here. So we're expecting a small pullback here before you can see this, or of course, it's still going to go up. We're going to do analysis on that later on and see where the market is really going. So that is that for tonight. So like I said, I do not want to, today is just really basically introduction to market structure, introduction to advanced market structure. So this is what we're going to be doing from tomorrow. we are going to be tackling everything. We're going to be doing real analysis of real markets, understanding market structure properly. All right. So tomorrow we're going to do 2 or 3 analysis on different markets using market structure. And then next tomorrow we are going to start the topic of order block and fair value gap, which is a very, very important topic. Order block and fair value gap. All right. So you do not want to miss out on that. Now, let me talk a bit about the VIP group again. All right. Let's talk a bit about the VIP group again. Now, for those that are joining the VIP group, we are doing this again. Like I said, for those that are just joining the Zoom meeting, I've talked about that before. Learned a lot. I am confused with the difference between when the internal structure happens and identifying it from a normal change of character. Yeah. See, let me do this again. Let me try and just explain that properly. So this is an uptrend, right? And then I like to mark my point of interest. Highest point, lowest point. So anything that happens in between here, as long as maybe we have something like this, anything that happens in between this line and this line is internal structure. Sometimes we might have something like this. Might even have a market will even range sometimes like this. As long as there is no break, everything happening here is internal structure. Everything happening here is internal structure. Then once we now have, let's say we now have a break like this. So how do I say this? How do I do this? Now this is, so look at this. I would not say this here is my break of structure. Right? Everything in here is none of my business. They are internal structure. It does not concern me. Guys, if I'm going to draw a path for this is how I'm going to now do it. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Like this, higher high. I'm going to ignore all this. Look at this. See how I ignore all this because they are internal structure. They don't really matter. They are just there to, confuse you. This is how I draw my path. This is higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Then we're going to talk a lot more about that. All right. We're going to talk a lot more about that. Yes, as long as there's no break of structure, all right, or change of character. Someone said they can matter if you want to steal a few dollars. Yeah. Liquidity is pumped. Now, right? See, again, I do not want to jump us with so many information yet. When we get to liquidity, when we get to topic of liquidity, we are going to understand, liquidity here, liquidity, we understand that. And as you can see, liquidity sweep happened, right? Took them out here, right? Before all that, right? We're going to talk a lot. Liquidity is another interesting topic on its own, right? So we're going to talk more about that. We're going to talk more about that. No, so that is that for today. So tomorrow we are going to talk more. We are going to go in depth, look at the chart properly. I need to check out some few examples for us to be able to understand properly. So by tomorrow, we are going to go into more depth on advanced market structure before we then go into so what's the name of the tool you're using to draw a line? It's called PATS. All right, it's called PATS. Someone said, "Thank you very much, sir. This is real value." Yeah, I'm so grateful for that. It's called PATH, PATH. I think you can find it somewhere here. I don't know. And it's somewhere around here anyway. It's been a long time I put it there, so I can't really know. Can't really remember. Okay, this is it. This is it. Yeah, this is it. It's here. Where is it? PATH. Yeah, this is it. All right, so let me quickly talk about. I suppose don't use my life savings, go learn this thing. Thank you so much, sir. You're welcome. Again, this is just the beginning. Now, guys, when we get to order block, we are going to see that order block is a very important topic. Where we get to order block, higher high, higher low, higher high. So aside from using your market structure to know where the market is going to start going up from, we are going to be using what we call order block. Order block. Order block. And we're going to be understanding order block, fair value gap. That's the next topic we're going to be talking if we finish advanced market structure. And then we're going to go into liquidity, which is also very important. And we're going to then wrap it up from there. All right. So that's, again, you don't need to jam pack your head with so many knowledge. Guys, for those that are going to be in the VIP group, you just see those in the VIP group just need, look at this. Look at this one now. Look at this. Highest points, lowest points. We have not seen a break of structure. So everything happening in here is still internal structure, as you can see. But then I know this one is going to give us a proper break of structure here. So it's going to go down. So I can look for opportunity to, sell here. So those that are going to be in the VIP group, again, those that are going to be in the VIP group, you are going to be learning how to flip accounts, right? How to turn $10 into 100. And if you can turn $10 into $100, you can obviously turn $100 into $1,000. And then you can turn $1,000 into $10,000, which is exactly what I did. Guys, I'm going to post a video. I think I have that video in my YouTube. Go to my channel and just scroll down from the videos. You are going to see a video named $100 to $10,000, right? $100 to $10,000. I was able to turn $100 into $10,000, right? And that is amazing with this method. As you can see, I've won another trade here. Guys, do you know what I did? This method here, this one I'm just doing, I'll just use my total equity, right? Total equity, take the trade. It's very fast, very easy. Very fast and very easy using market structure. Guys, using market structure. Guys, immediately there's a break of structure here. What am I going to do? Right? I'm just going to adjust my lines. I'm going to carve out my new point of interest. My new point of interest will be highest points, right? Once I have my break of structure, look at this. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. We have this lower low. This one here did not break the structure. For a market to be for a break of structure to be a break of structure, it has to be a candle close. Let me show you. It has to be a candle close. We are going to talk more about that, right? This is not a candle close, so this is not a break of structure. This is just breaking the structure here. So I've gotten my recent highest point, and I'm waiting for my recent lowest point to form. Once I see a break of structure, I just chill, right? I wait. Because I know I'm anticipating a pullback. A pullback is going to happen, right? I'm just waiting for the pullback to happen and I continue taking the trade. It's as simple as that, guys. It's as simple as that, guys. So those that are in the VIP group will learn how to flip account. Guys, let's say I have $50. Let me show you. Let's say I have $50 right now. What I'm just going to do is I can divide it because I know what I'm doing. I can divide it by 3. But for those, yeah, there's a new break of structure. Yeah. There's a new break of structure. Yeah, thank you for noticing that. Now look at this. This is now our new what? This is now the break of structure here. Break of structure here, as you can see. So now we have this. Hold on. Let me show you. So now look at this. Look at this. We have this now. Look at this. This is pure market structure. We have lower low, lower high, lower low, break of structure, as you can see, lower high. We have lower low, lower high, and then we are having a lower low now. So where's our break of structure in all this scenario? These are break of structure. These are break of structure. These are break of structure here. As you can see, those are our break of structure. Very simple, guys. Now, one thing people do not really understand is once you open a chart and then you are not seeing a proper market structure, leave it. Leave it. You don't necessarily have to trade every market. So markets will not follow market structure. They are just doing rubbish. All right? Do not force it. Leave it. Now look at this one now. We believe the pullback wants to start happening, right? So what I just do here is I just do this. Recent highest points, recent lowest points. If this one break it, it has not started happening. We want a pullback. Now, once we start talking about order block, you are going to understand that order block is also a very important topic, because here we can predict where this market is going to go back to, because we have a sweet order block here, as you can see. Ali, please stop that. This is another block here that we believe that the market, please stop this. That we believe that the market will do this, come into our order block before going down. So that's what we believe is going to happen. So how do you understand all this? Yeah, you are going to be understanding all this properly. And that's what this whole group is about. So let me withdraw this. As you can see, I can withdraw this like this. I like to draw out my point of interest, as you can see. No, this is not it. Remember, that move there did not break that structure. You need to be able to understand all this thing properly, guys. We are going to be treating this properly. This is it here. Highest point. Then we are beginning to get what? Our lowest point here. And then we expect the market to get to what? Our order block, which is this one. Because there's a very massive fair value gap there. Look at all this is fair value gap. This market needs to, fill. All right. So now, if this market keeps going down, this is still not the lowest point yet. All right. They have to be a pullback. All right. So we're going to be talking about, I think tomorrow, in our tomorrow class, we'll still be talking about valid and invalid pullback. So again, like I was saying before I divert here, let's say you have a $50. You can just take $10. Let me show you. $10 out of the $50. And with just two to three trades, let's say three trades. 18%. That's what I'm going to be showing you guys, teaching those in the VIP group. 3 trades is going to give you like 60%. So you're making 60% per day. I'm going to show you 60% with $10, and then you do that for 7 days alone. Look at this. $258, guys. $258 in 1 week with $10. Now, let's assume something happened along the way. You lost your $10. You're just going to take another $10. Another $10. Recover your loss, your $10. Get 100% of that $10. Once you get to 100% of your $10, you return back your $10 and you continue again. Do this for 7 days alone. You have 258. Now, what I'm going to do is, that's what I do before. I'm going to take my total equity. Once I have 258, my total equity again divided by 5. Let's say, and now I can use, let's say I'm using now $50. The same thing again, 1,002 in 2 weeks with $50. And you're not using your total equity. You are being smart. And those are the things I'm going to be showing you guys in the VIP group. These are the things I'm going to be sharing with you guys in the VIP group. So if you're not in the VIP group, if you're not in the VIP group and you're interested in not just learning, if you're interested in not just learning all this, but you want to learn how to apply what you've learned into the Dare platform, just send me a DM. To join the VIP group is just $30. $30 to join the VIP group. Again, I just want 10 people in the VIP group, and I already have 5 people. So the first 5 people that are going to message me are those that are going to be in the VIP group. I just want 10 people because we want to do that challenge. We want to turn $10 into $10,000, and I cannot do that with a lot of people. So I just need 10 people. So it's either you deposit $10 or you deposit $50. I even have people from the 5 people that have started depositing already. So if you're interested in that, of course, I'm going to be updating the general group. You're going to be seeing how we are doing and everything. So of course, we are going to be doing that. So you want to join? Send me a DM after the live section so we can get started. All right. So I need 5 more people in the VIP group before we get started. All right. No, not monthly. Once. It's just one. So at least make it 15 people for the VIP group. Yeah, you can pay with Nigerian Naira. You can pay with Nigerian Naira. So I'm going to be ending the live section here tonight. Tomorrow we are going to continue advanced market structure. Then next tomorrow we are going to go into introduction to order block and fair value gap, which is another interesting topic. So thank you guys for joining the live section tonight. I'm going to open the WhatsApp group so we can just talk about what we learned about tonight. If we really get real value and all that. So those are not here, we'll be encouraged to join us. So if you really get real value from here, I'm going to open the WhatsApp group right now. Just share with us if you really get real value. So that's that on that, guys. Thank you for joining this section. It's been recorded. I'm going to post on YouTube. You can watch the recorded version. So thank you.